What's going on, guys, and welcome to the 77 Xamarin Android tutorial. So this is going to be the final video, and we're going to finish up this project for SignalR, which we're making a small little chat client with Xamarin Android. So we left off with the confirming that the method update chat message can be called from the server, and we did that by having a breakpoint right here and seeing that it just gets hit. So that tells me that it's getting called. And because I do that, because I know that now, I feel comfortable with continuing on and actually running this. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to create a text view on the fly, and easy enough, pass it in a context, which this will be will work. And we want to actually give it a text. And what is the text we want to give it? Well, we want to give it the text that the client sent, or the server sent to the client, which is message. So this is the message that was sent. And then we want to do set text color, and this can be set to whatever you want. But I'm just going to do a light. Actually, we'll have to import that more than likely. Android.graphics, and we'll have to do a. Or we don't have to do, I'm sorry, I'm going to do a light gray. And yeah, you have to do this text color, or otherwise it will not work. Okay, we want to set a text size, which I'm going to do SP for the unit, and I'm going to do a 20 for the value. That can be, once again, whatever you want. I'm going to set some padding on it, and we'll do 10, 10, 10, 10. And here's where we actually select the color that we want. And this is sort of hard set. You can probably, I mean, it's going to be better to do it like in a database or something, some kind of configuration. But this is something that's just kind of hard set in the code, that kind of quick and simple, trying to keep it that way at least. This is the color code. And remember that back here in get info, we did 1 for red, 2 for green, 3 for blue. And because I know that, we're going to check for that. So we'll do case of a value 1, we'll do txt set text color to color dot red, and we'll do break. Oops. And then we'll do the same exact thing for the other two. And then we're actually going to take this, and we will make this the default value, unless in case nothing was selected, which is possible. They could just not select anything, which I believe it'll be 0, the value. So then it'll fall through to the default case. And instead of making it, I changed my mind, we'll make it black. Go ahead and change that if you want. If not, that's cool. This is for the value of 3. So it's, remember, red, green, and blue. So we'll do green, and let's do a actually like a medium sea green or something like that. Green's kind of hard to see. I'm sure that one is too, but you get the gist, right? So here is the colors. Now we know if it's 1, red, 2, green, blue, or if it's nothing, just default to black. And that'll set the color. All right. So now we are continuing with our text view. We want to actually set some layout parameters. And this is kind of the thing with if you guys haven't done this before, just kind of rendering widgets dynamically. So this is kind of how you sort of do this. If this is all new to you, I'm basically setting the layout parameters where you do like match parent, wrap content. That's what I'm doing here. So I'm making a new linear layout parameters. And I am saying the width and the height to be wrap parent, which is what I would normally do in the code. And I'm going to set a few more properties inside of this object, and that's going to be top margin. So I want the margin of this to be 10, the bottom to be 10, the left margin to be 10, right 10, and then I want the gravity to be right. So it's right aligned. And that's, if I still have it up, I'm not sure. Here it is. So it's right aligned right here. It has some margin the padding, and the margin, of course, as well. So this is all done dynamically through the linear layout parameters. And it's linear layout, which is lots of different layout parameters, but it's linear layout because it's going to be inside of a linear layout, this text view. And how do I know that? Well, I know that because I'm going to be the one adding it to the linear layout. And I can do that by getting a reference to it. I called it chat messages, and I'm going to do add view, txt. I'm going to add the text view. And this LL chat messages is this thing, remember back a couple of videos ago, it's this guy right here. And this is the one that's inside the scroll view, so I'm going to add text views to it. And what that does is it starts to scroll as you keep adding. So kind of maybe, not sure if this will work. Well, let me kind of give you an example. See if that will render. Yeah, there they are right there. So notice that if I keep adding stuff to this linear layout, notice that it begins to scroll. And that's because it's wrapped inside of that scroll view. So that's what I just showed you right now. That's essentially what we are doing programmatically and dynamically and on at runtime. So let's undo. Cool. All right, so you kind of get the idea what we're doing there. This is what that's doing. It's mimicking that. And that should be it. Okay, so let's go ahead and actually, let's go ahead and run this. And you should see that when we do run it, I don't think it's going to work. And I'll show you why here in a second, but I kind of like to sometimes show you first that it doesn't work, and then because you saw it, maybe you'll remember why, and then when I show you the fix, maybe it might stick a little more in your brain. I know it does for me. So let's go ahead and pick a color or a username, green. Right, so I'm clicking send, and nothing is happening. And if you look here, go back to here, you'll see that the breakpoint is being hit. So it's kind of like, what's going on? Why is it not working? Well, and this is kind of a Android kind of global, lesson, I guess, and we've been through this a couple times together, and it still gets me once in a while. So that's kind of why I wanted to point it out. We are running this on a separate thread, and this await connection.start, it sends message, and then it sends it on a separate thread. So this is running on a separate thread, not the UI thread. And because we're doing that, it's not going to work properly because you can't do any kind of UI graphical stuff outside of the UI thread. So what we need to do is we need to force it to run on the UI thread and make it a little more clear. This is in context of an activity, and it takes an action that takes no parameters. So we'll do an empty parameterless. There we go. Action. And this will force it to run on the UI thread, as the definition implies. And we've done this before, but just kind of want to point that out again, because when I did it, it kind of got me at first, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I remember why. So you're possibly smarter than I am, so this may not have gotten you as easily as it got me, but this is now running on the UI thread, and I'll get rid of the this just to look at a little more cleaner, and this should now work properly. So I was looking at it for a few minutes. I'm like, why is this not rendering? This doesn't make any sense. And suddenly it just kind of came to me, oh yeah, I know why. And at that time it was very obvious, but at first it was not. All right, so let's go ahead and pick a color, and then we'll maybe a little something more meaningful. Client 1, if that's meaningful more, I don't know. Hello, me, and I am alone right now. And there it is, hello, me. Okay, so there we have it. And I did put I did put red or green right there, right? So that's not coming up as what I wanted to. So let's go ahead and let me take a look at that. So this seems to be not right. It's supposed to be set text color, not set link. One of the caveats of I guess copying and pasting is when you do it wrong in many places, right? So I changed this also to dark green, and I also want to change the text to user plus colon plus. So this will append and prefix the user with the message that the user is giving. So that's looking good. Let's go ahead and run this again. Let's see if we get the right look. Let's choose a green. Client 1. Okay. Hello, me. Cool. Okay, so that's a sort of a dark green looks like. So now that that's connected, what we can do is we can stop this and we can actually switch to the 7, and we can so that we can have these running simultaneously. So let me pull this one up. That one's already running, or running, and then actually it already has it installed. I shouldn't say running. And here's the client. This is the 5-inch, and we'll name this one client 1 again. Do a red this time. And then this is the tablet. We'll call this one client 2. Do a blue. And I'll say hello client 2. Yay! And hello client 3. I'll say hey. If this will let me delete it. Hey, that's not my name. Oh, ha. Okay, so basically talking to myself at this point, right? So, okay, so you get the point. So it is it's working as it expects. So awesome, that's great news. A couple things I wanted to point out. Actually, one thing I wanted to point out in particular. Now that we have this working good, we did add this method, or we didn't add it, I should say, to our project. The SignalR server, I didn't show us adding this, so be sure to add this to your project if you're going to put it on your own server. However, this is the function that is on the server that I am running on, so you can be sure that it's on that one. And if you do not want to make your own implementation and put it on your server or a server or whatever, if you do want to get a little more in depth, then of course you're going to need to do that. But if you want to just do it for some sandbox testing right now, and just to kind of get this project set up and running and get your feet wet, you feel free to use this as well, the c4beginners.com. Make sure to put :901 so that it points to the SignalR project on this server, and then you should have this method available to you, message background username, and then it will call this method. So make sure that this string, it's strongly typed, so make sure that this string is verbatim and that this string is verbatim as you see it here, because if not, it's not going to work. So there you go, guys. There is SignalR, our first SignalR application using chat. If you guys want to see maybe a few more different kind of examples besides the chat, maybe some little more live interaction between 2 clients, 3 clients, or whatever. Shoot me some comments below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. It really helps me my channel grow, puts a smile on my face when I see you guys are subscribing. But if you do want some more stuff on this topic, please feel free to, as always, leave comments below. And thanks for watching, guys.